Okay. Hello, welcome you all. My name is Suman from Uplatz. So the things we learned modules till 5 modules. Okay. So we understand about the main part of installation, environment setup. Then we entered into objects, data types, and data structures, like what is vector, what is list, and what is arrays and matrices. And along with their indexing, slicing, their methods, and so many operations, their usage. Then we entered into control structures and we understand about loops. This is the programming part, especially we have to know it first in cases control structures loops are there. But when you want to go ahead with conditional based entry, or when we want to repeat certain statements in a couple of times, or operators, like we know it operators, it's a very simple, but we have to understand what operators are there. For example, take 1 plus 1 or whatever we can consider. This is addition subtraction. But along with, we do have additional operators also there, like percentile, what is percentile or something. So percentile is not there, but percentile is related with other things are there. Percentile is presented in Python language. Okay. But we do have to provide it, what sort of operators are there, like multiplication and division. These are the things we learn, and not only simple addition subtractions, we also understand string concatenation. Let's say first name is something is there, first name, and you want to join with the second name. So can I join the second name? The answer is can I join second name? Okay. So these are nothing but operators, but this is addition with won't works because it's a numerical. So that's where they are providing concatenation or something. So these values it will explain, or you just type it here. There is any confusion. Operators listed out operators. Okay, you can type it double star so that it will search. If it is directly available, it will search in a directly. Otherwise, we have to do double quote, double question mark. You can see these are the operators. Okay, greater than is there and less than is there. In more cases, you can type it here. Symmetric. For matrix, you can see this is also an operator. What it will do? It will do it in products with different matrices. This is for cross multiplication, and we can generally call it as a transpose. This is base multiplication. Okay. So like this, we do have operators, and we discussed about those things in this module. Then we entered into functions and apply family of package of apply family functions and packages. That is also functions. But what is the difference between functions and apply family functions? Functions are general functions. If you want to go ahead with any values like summation, if I give it, okay, summation I can give it, but I have to provide some vector. 3, 2 comma 3, and just ask it. This is simple function. But along this sum function, we learned so many things like max. It will provide maximum value. And like that, we do have different functions are there. These are direct functions, general functions, whereas apply family functions, it works on top of the data structures, on top of the what? Either vectors, okay, or either matrices or arrays, and similar concept it works. Then after learn all these things, along with packages, we entered into data importing, and data importing from the multiple different format files we have been gone, like simple flat files like text file, Excel files, CSV files, or semi-structured data like JSON files. And what sort of method is there? Like read dot. Okay, so read dot is there. Then we entered into not just like importing only simple plain files for limited data, but we entered into connection with databases. So that is different because we need the different softwares. Okay, SQLite is a different software, which is a lightweight programming language, scripting language. And other than SQLite, we have MySQL, SQL Server is there, PostgreSQL is there. These are the main topmost which are using. For the case of connection, for the case of things, just all the things are same. There is slightly changes. Drivers are needed. Sometimes directly connected. So for PostgreSQL, something drivers are needed, or if driver will be not updated driver. So that is the reason we might get some connection issues or something. But getting the connection after getting connected to the server, and where we can able to get the data and we can apply any sort of R language or SQL language. In the similar way, we have been gone through SQL DF as well. All right. So SQL DF is also similar to SQL kind of package. So you can type it here simply. Take your any data like take cars data is there now. So here you can give it data here. Now if you want to view it here, so give it a data. Now it will view here. But the question comes to here is, you are familiar with something like values. Okay. So in that cases, you have to provide SQL DF. So you can see it's a package. Okay. It performs select operations on our data frame. Okay. So once go ahead here. So read.sql. For SQL data, we are getting SQL diff is just a query. Okay. Select data frame, and whatever the data we give it, so it will provide that file. Like for example, I want to provide here data, indicate let's say data, first query or next data. We have to write it. Select star from data if I provide it. First, we have to give invalid augment document. Let's see it. Thing. Oh, sorry. So that is the problem. Here PostgreSQL is connecting. Okay. So that's the issue still facing. So you can open new session, or what is just open here. Go to here session and restart all. Or you can disconnect either way. So whatever is there, you can disconnect. Now when I go to environment, it's look like empty, right? Look like empty. Now in a similar way, you can type it to load the package here data frame. For example, in my cases, I just want to load here. We are not getting data because data is not loaded. You can give it data here and empty cost you can provide it. The data frame is loaded, and I think early or later you can write it. Now you got same data, right? But what we use is important. We use SQL query, but not R query. Okay. If I want to get only here equal to something like carb is equal to 4. Now here I can write simple edit condition, and where carb equal to 4 and give 4. So we are getting only 4. You can filter it, whatever the data you needed. Not only filtering, you can group it and you can change it. You can apply mathematical operations. Okay. Sum of displacement if you want to look at. So that's also we can able to look at query in the similar manner. This is what SQL we learned along with connections with various data frames. Now we entered into this is sixth module, I think. There may be rename it the sixth module. Question of the number. I can recall. Yes, Studio we are using it. Connection we remove, right? Okay. Close the file. Because the folder or the file is you open on other program. I just disconnected, right? Okay, I think mostly is clear. Let's close it. Keep going. Okay, I can open restart again. Machine. That's only name of the file, or you can just able to reconnect again. File is there. Now it's deleted. Now just make it this seventh model. Let's see its model. Just name the model. And totally end of the project. Okay, so that's fine. Now just copy this code like along with regular revision initially and go to your prompt and change the direction. Change the direction and you can write it down. Command called Jupyter Lab. Okay, first we'll rename this file as 6. Better to learn first statistics. Now it will rename it. Yes, we can make it as 7. Data clean techniques and 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now I want to enter here statistical portion, and I can open notebook. Okay, so first let's try to understand what concepts we have to learn in the table of contents. We should be able to understand. Descriptive statistics we will move ahead, and understanding type of the variables or scales of the measurement. Either you can go in this way. What is descriptive statistics? Let's try to understand first theoretically. Descriptive statistics indicate basically it will summarize the data and it will give the summary statistics. Okay. But before that, we have to understand variables as well, like what type of variables are there and what scales of measurement is there. Under that, we have to understand what is difference between categorical and numerical. Again, categorical consists nominal, ordinal. Numerical is also interval and ratio scale. These are the scales. Then we will move ahead with the central tendency, and we have to understand variability, and we have to understand shapes, and then we will move ahead with various formulas, working with some data set, and we can understand what means differences. Okay. So statistics work. Statistics is there early. We don't have AI field. Okay, because we know it. Statistics is also academical subject is also available in the elementary school level or maybe intermediate level or degree PG. Okay, academically that is a subject also which I already know it be. Even though programming not comes into picture, computers not comes into existed, but during that time is also statistics is there. But let's try to understand, statistics is a portion of same way mathematics. It's a underneath that part, but it deals with mainly a collection of the data, and it can do it works for the it will helps us for the data analysis and interpretation and presentation of okay a larger number of numerical or categorical data. We can say any kind of data, but the goal is main is doing analysis with whatever we are collecting the data from multiple sources. Then we have to move forward, understand the data, and then we have to go ahead and interpret. So those kind of data. That's the main thing. Okay. So what is a population? Population indicate what? See, population indicate here. So the thing is, it's indicate total amount, or we can say uh, population is nothing but it's a larger amount of data. Okay, information data, a larger amount of values or things or numbers or category of different kind of products collecting, that is a population. Then what is sample? Sample is nothing but we are collecting a sample from the population. That would be representative sample. We will collect it. Okay. Taking a simple example, like population is there. Country population also you can take simple example. So country population, we can't go to each time and collect how many people are born and what is the population. So it will collected around 5 years or something during census calculations will be right. But the problem is population. Even though population will consider as a total people, but we can't go to each and every portion of person or person, and we can't take that value. So similar way, population from the population sample we will collect. Based on the sample, we will able to infer about the population. Okay. What is parameter? Parameter indicate numerical description of a population characteristics. It's related to population. And then what is statistic word? Statistic word is nothing but same way numerical expression, but about the sample, not population. Population when we treat it as a parameter, and when we treat it as a sample, that is called statistics. Statistics. Take it a simple example. Just now I explained population of Indian countries or USA country. That's fine. But what is parameter indicate? Parameter indicate simply average age. Okay, average age, and not only average age. You can take another example like what is the average salary of Indian people. Okay. Or you can take typically take one company like take it as a larger company like Amazon or Google, some company. Across total, we want to look at total employees salary, but summation or something like we are looking that is called parameter. Okay, so that indicate characteristics of the population. Whereas statistics indicate a group of people were collected sample randomly, mostly randomly use it, but there are different techniques also there, sampling techniques. But let's take it in the random way, and that indicates statistics. Okay. Now, descriptive statistics indicate what? It will summarize the data, whatever you collected. Okay, it will summarize and it will give certain methods to summarize. Information statistics involves data from a sample to make conclusion about a population. Yes. So this is the keywords. This is the words we have to remember, sentence we have to remember first to understand any statistical concept. Okay. So there are two uses statistics. Okay, to describe, one is to predict. Okay, and we call these are descriptive statistics and inference statistics. These are the main thing categories, two categories. So descriptive statistics, which I explained, in short, we can say, in short, we can call it as to describing about the data. Inferential indicate to discover any patterns in the data and evidence of reasoning rather than explicit statement. Right? Like some company, they might say, our products are, long last, maybe some years. You can typically take anything like AC or maybe bike or car, something. So the company is telling, our car is excellent and which works very well without any repair or something, except small issues. And but suddenly he's telling fine, but suddenly when we go to take bike or car or air cooler or something, so it's suddenly dropped out and it's not working. Okay, so that is what inference is such. Okay, so we have to understand based on their statement whether they are telling a proper right answer or wrong answer. Now, for that, we can't go to each and every manufacturer of car company, right? So we have to collect certain sample and we have to look at the evidence and some kind of reasoning. Based on that, we can able to decide. So that's the main thing. So that's statistics. Okay. Now, before that, we have to understand, like I explained, variables understanding is important. What is nominal, what is ordinal, what is interval, what is ratio. Let's try to understand here. So this is a very simple example which indicate first nominal, okay, and ordinal, and interval and ratio. Means ratio holds all this, but nominal here indicates values like these values, right? And the categorical. So first we look at into these both are categorical, but first we will look at into certain example in a categorical way. Nominal scale we can take, okay, this scale. So it indicate what nominated means nominee, we know it already, like nominee indicate was just name only, nothing else, other thing. There is no inherent order between categories, okay. we can say simply a particular person name. Okay, and one cannot say a particular category whether a person is superior, better than other. Okay, that's indicate just a name only, not else. Take it a simple example like Srinivas is their name. That is indicate just nominee, a person named Srinivas. Okay, or some other person there, Rajesh, or some other person, Ramesh, Ravinder. So it's indicate nominee. Okay, not only just person, people's name. You can take it in another context like book name or pen name, or you can take a TV name. Either way. Okay. So here I gave it examples like gender, male and female. Okay. So in these cases, one cannot say males are better than females or vice versa. Just for nominee, male and female. Blood group. So one cannot say, group A is superior to group B or something. Okay. Of course, it's each individual groups. Religions, we can say Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist. I know these are different categories. Colors is there, red, green, blue. Okay. And this is nothing but nominal scaling. Okay. They are the categories explains certain thing. What is, that thing. Subtype of nominal scale with only two categories. So male and female is called dichotomous. There is some, if you look at some books or some articles or some, portals, they might say it's a nominal, but dichotomous. We had to, it's a two only contest. Yes or no, true or false, or male or female. So certain kind of thing. But ordinal is what? Ordinal indicate categories same, but can be logically arranged in a meaningful order. Okay? However, we can't say difference between categories is not meaningful. Means difference is not meaningful is important, but order is important. Okay. What we would say ranks. You can take ranks. So in these cases, first, second, third look like person might be right. FIRST or SCCOND second, THIRD third. But even though he is telling first, second, third, because he is telling ranks, I would say first prize is better than second prize and third prize. Okay, because here order matters. Okay, so you can take any certain example like take it as a cricketer example. Like so, in certain cases, Sachin Tendulkar is there and Kohli is there, or Rohit Sharma is there, and Surya Kumar is there, and different people, Dhoni is there. But the problem is their names only, but nothing else. Okay, but when I look at into their scores, like wickets or maybe scores, okay, in that cases I have to go order. Okay, so Sachin Tendulkar has highest scores or something they got it in a history, but compare with that is different. So that is about order. Ranks you can take other values also. Like simple example, I would say like whenever we go to social media, they are giving some order. Okay, like can you order it this to some scale out of five, or in interview questions also they might ask. So in our language, what is your out of five? Can you tell me what is your knowledge? What is your scale of knowledge? Then somebody tell two, somebody tell high five, so somebody tell four. Then in that cases five is better, not two is better. Okay. But when it comes to ranks wise, two is better rather than four, rather than five. So where it changes, the order. Okay. How it changes. The based on the domain knowledge, based on the values they are looking forward. Yep. Why we are getting ranks wise, first is better than fifth? Just first person who is placed. For example, you can take the running race or some tournament race. So first person is better than second person, obviously, and going into for a fifth person. But when you go to like a comments, so or when you go to how much you satisfied about this statement from the Indian government. Let's say they have been released new policy, but how do you state out of 5? Then first person says 4, second person says 3, and third person says 5 out of 5. Then I would say, 5 is better person and better, liking that policy might be help for the people who are ruling that government. So like this, I give a couple of examples so that these examples will explain for you. Good, better, best is different. Okay, good is best is better than better. Better is better than even good. And other things like no pain, mild pain is there, moderate pain is there, severe pain is there. So when you take the hospital sector, like healthcare sector, medical sector, diagnostic sector, in that cases, severe pain is very important for the doctor rather than just no pain or small pain. Okay, because order here, arrangement in order is important. For But the difference between the categories is subjective and not uniform. Okay, so here we are not looking difference. For example, 3 is there, 3 minus 2, 1, and 2 minus 1 is also 1. So can I say both every person is same? The answer is no. Okay. First person is better than the second person, but in that cases, order makes sense, but not difference. You can take other degrees as well, educational degrees. For example, graduate is there, master is there, PhD is there. Now, obviously, PhD is higher level compared with master degrees and graduate or undergraduate. Now, take the ranks as well. So high, medium, low also we are using, and customer satisfaction survey. So satisfied, neutral, or dissatisfied. So that is also man. Liking scale is also, which I give it here. So person might be disagree, strongly disagree is different, completely disagree. Okay, so that's why we will move ahead and order matters, ordinal. And when it comes to numerical, that's about categorical. So categorical is data is there, but those are two certain two subcategory types. So two subtypes we can say. Categorical indicate first is nominal, second is categorical. Okay. But when it comes to numerical, we have to go forward with the numerical values. Interval scale is there. Okay. So these are values but not categories. Can be ordered and have a meaningful difference. But doubling is not possible. Okay. So doubling is not possible. This is important you have to understand. Not meaningful in the case. This is because the absence of the absolute zero is the main thing. Okay. Absolute zero absent here in these cases. I gave it one example so that you might understand. For example, the zero entry represents a position on a scale, but the entry is not inheritably zero. What does it mean? Let's take an interval scale is about, zero entry. So zero entry represents a position on a scale. Okay. So we can't say zero entry is very lowest. Okay. I mean, nothing is presented. Okay. So zero is also meaningful in the sense. Okay. But it's an absolute zero. So it's absence in the interval scale. But we can take other example, single example, temperature. Temperature in degrees Celsius Fahrenheit. Okay. So if you go to temperature in Celsius or Fahrenheit, so Celsius scale explains what? The difference between 40 degrees Celsius and 50 Celsius is the same as that between 20 and 30. So here meaningful difference, equidistance. Besides, 50C is hotter than 40C for order. Okay? However, 20C, 20 Celsius is not half as hot as 40. That's what mainly. Okay? Means, for example, 20 Celsius, 40 Celsius is some person is having, and 20 Celsius is some person, and not hot as 40 degrees. Okay, so doubling is not meaningful in this case, Celsius, but meaningful differences in the Celsius scale. So the difference between each unit is the same anywhere on the scale, or the difference between 49 degrees or 59 Celsius. Okay, is the same as difference between any two consecutive values, either 1 unit or 2 unit or whatever. You can take the time duration. So that's the main thing. Addition and subtraction makes sense here, but multiplication and division is not. Okay, do not. So 70 degrees is not twice as hot as 35 degrees. Okay, 75 degrees is greater, but not 35 degrees double. Okay, so if this confusing, I give it here. Negative temperature is also presented, would mean, or a zero temperature, 30 degrees is -1. Okay, time as hot as 30 degrees. So it doesn't make sense in this case. So it takes some time for you to understand. Then after we'll go to ratio scale. So ratio scales, when we compare with interval scale, so the values can be here ordered, meaningful difference, and doubling is also meaningful. There is an absolute zero entry, is an inheriting zero. Okay, so in these cases, you can take same temperature in Kelvin scale. So 100 K is twice as hot as 50 K. Okay, so doubling is also meaningful here, and the difference between values is also meaningful because it can be ordered. So height and weight, something like that, and 100 kg is twice as heavy as 50 kgs. Okay, but the difference 45 kgs and 55 kgs is same as 105 and 100 kgs. So multiplication makes sense as well. Two common examples are height and weight. A person who weighs 200 pounds and weights double what a person who weighs just 100 pounds weight. Okay. So this difference is same as the between 150 versus 150 compared with 100 and 200 compared with the 150. Similar matter we can understand. So that is the reason these values can be arranged in a particular manner, either ascending order or descending order. Okay. And the ratio scales also having meaningful zero. So that is the reason I gave it here this diagram, so that you might came to show to understand. The first is the lowest level of scale is nominal. Okay. And again, you can don't consider name person side another word is there. Name is just name. Okay. In the sense of, or take it another example. For example, take it as a CM person name is there. Like AP Jagan, or maybe Chandrababu, or maybe you can take Telangana. Names are there, but those are only just names, but not, indicates that person is, exactly CM until and unless somebody told, I mean, we know it. Like a couple of we as a voters, we know it, and as a typical elections participate, they know it. But typically, generally, it's a just name, nominal. Okay. Ordinal indicate different. Ordinal like ranks, which I explained clearly. So ranks, scores, in that case is ordinal. Interval indicate, okay, fine, but there is no absolute meaning zero. Okay. Whereas ratio contains absolute meaning zero. Okay. Here ratio is also contains nominal way, and ordinal way you can look at in the order way, and you can also look at into understand absolute zero is also highest level. Okay. So that is the meaning. Now these are the values which I explain with the real world data examples, so that you might can show to understand. So what is it? Now let's coming into central tendency. What is central tendency? Central tendency indicate how these values we got it fine, but what is mean, average? Okay. So what is average? Okay, we can statistically tell it is a mean, but in general we can tell that is average. What is the average? What is mean? Sum of total observations by number of observations. What is median? Median is nothing but middle point or midpoint of which data divided into two equal parts. Mode indicate most of a repeatable value or duplicates. In that context, we can say most often or repeated a maximum number of times. So I gave it here one image so that you can easily understand. So total numbers I do have 3, 7, 10 is there, 8, 3, 31 is there, 10 is 2 is there. Now mean indicate what? Total summation 71 by 7. So that's we got 10.14. So that is the mean. Median indicate what? Here we make into order. Here we can see the same numbers, same 10 percentage, 17 percentage, 31 percentage. But 31 we got here, but what are 2 got on the last? Here we got first. Because first we made it order. And since these are 7 values, so whatever the person which is having this value, so that person is middle. So that is called median. In this case, 8 is the middle. So that is the median. What is mode? So mode most often repeatable values. So in these cases, only 10 is repeated 2 times, but remaining things not repeated 2 times. So that is the reason we call that this is the mode. Okay. Now, okay, we understood about the central, central tendency. We understand about theoretical concept, but about simple, what is the levels of measurement, including with categorical data and numerical data. But how to do it in our language? Okay. So for that, I'm giving some values here, or you can take those values as well. So in the vector, simply I'm storing it into X. Okay. And next option, we are going here and calculating with mode. And in the mode, I have the return function because we learned LD function. I'm taking function and taking same X vector. And here I'm storing length of table of X. Okay. Length of table of X is nothing but how many count is there that will be stored here. And mode is nothing but as dot integer we are converting, and we are looking names, sorting these values by dividing this value with uh, n. Okay, I mean not dividing these values we are getting. So we are looking and mode we are just finding. Now, so that is fine, and then after we are just looking here. And okay, this is fine. This is just function only. Okay, to find out the mode, most repeatable values, whatever repeated. So typically just try it here. With what we got it, 13 we got. Okay. So this is argument. Don't confuse. This is argument and this is the value which we are giving here. Because here also we are taking x now. So that is this x. It's assigned. And this x indicate vector. Now what we got it here, 13 is repeated couple of times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's why we are getting 4 here. Okay. Now you can try for different values. Okay. So instead of 13, you can repeat the 18 two times. So 13 make it individual. So that we are getting more here is 18, but not 13. Okay. Now, next we are looking into table of X, the total values. Okay. What is table of X? See, table of X indicate values along with how many times it's repeated. So that we will get it in a vector. So for example, 13 4 times we got now. So 13 here 4 is there. 14 2 times and 16 and 18 21. These are one time. So that is what table. Then after we are making sort. so that it will going from the lowest to highest. Okay, and that names also give here is given so that it will give it the output like this. Okay, 16 to and these values, this order, and then after we are making into sort. Okay, so this is just terms only, but here we are making sort, and we are taking that value, and here we are just calculating these values. You can see we are getting here values like 5 and 13. Okay, so now we can apply mode here on top of any values on data frame also we can apply. So in the first cases I applied X, whatever we taken custom data, but here in these cases I applied on empty cars displacement. Okay, so displacement, and I want to look at similar way empty cars displacement. So anything some values which is repeatable or something. Okay, so these are the values we got it for the displacement, and along with mode, along with table. So this is the main mechanism that we got it here. Now measurement of variability. So that's better for looking in the next session, because till here whatever we learned so far is the basics of this statistics, but it's very important because statistics is the main backbone for the AI field. So we once how we extend our skills up to what level you have to upskill, that would be make sense for the entire career and in that job. So that's the main thing. So the things we discussed in the today about the in this module, we started with statistical concept and general examples, general way of examples like the population statistics, and what is parameter, what is statistics, what is descriptive statistics compared with inferential. Along with we understand about scales of measurements, like nominal versus what, ordinal what, interval versus ratio what, and a similar way where we will use nominal, ordinal, but where we which values we will use ordinal, interval, nominal order, which values we will use interval ratio. Along with examples I gave it so that you might understand and you can compare these values with your other data which in your company working on. Okay, similar context of data. So we have to understand, even though they are not providing, we have to understand data description. Concept is called data description. So in that table or data frame, whatever the data we are looking, so based on this table for data description, and we can move ahead with the data analysis, data cleaning, data manipulations, or visualizations or transformation, or apply machine learning. So all those things works on top of this main examples. Okay, so that's about we learn, and we learn even understand about say central tendency like mean, median, mode, and how they are comparing. What is the difference between mean versus median versus mode, along with some examples, which is finding context. Now tomorrow we'll focus on the variability and what is variability, how it is different with like central tendency, and we'll look at forward and we'll try to understand. Okay? So thank you very much for watching this session, and tomorrow we'll move ahead with understanding uh, variability concept and statistics. Thanks a lot.